Mike Leonard Insurance Agency has served the communities in the North Texas Metroplex area for over 40 years. We're an independent agency, which gives us the opportunity to shop among a number of larger, nationally known companies without sacrificing coverage. If you haven't shopped for better car or home insurance lately, give us a call or check out our website. You will be shocked at how much more your current company may be overcharging you. Mike Leonard Insurance. We're local, independent, and we're here for you.
We're joined here with China Spring High School head coach Tyler Beatty. Coach, if you'll introduce your 5 student athletes.
Got seniors all right here. Tristan Exline, number 5, Colby Hale, Trey Hafford, Greg Salazar, and Jacob Mott.
Coach, just your initial thoughts about taking home the title.
It's a blessing. China Spring America is different than anywhere else I've ever been, and it's because of these guys. It's because of how much work they put in, how much they care, how well they respond to adversity, and their character is top-notch. Questions?
Coach, wonder why number 81 isn't up there, and were y'all planning that last drive to set him up for a game winner?
Yeah, it was obviously to score points, and as we moved the football down, we put ourselves in a position to kick a field goal, and Thomas is Mr. Automatic. I mean, he comes out, works at his trade every single day, and there was no doubt in anybody's mind that he's going to drill it.
Coach, they didn't score at all in the second half. What were some of the adjustments that y'all made on defense specifically to get the stop on them?
Yeah, they were mashing the football on us, and so we were going to load the box with some linebackers, get our safeties involved in the run game, take away some of their quick pass, and got after them. Relentless effort. You know, talk to them at half. We've been in that situation before, and we played Melissa, tough team, but they grind and they don't give up. And like I said, it's these guys. That's why they're here. It's because they don't stop. They won't stop.
Coach, obviously you were on the coaching staff last year when you brought home the state title, but how does it feel to be at the helm this year and doing that again?
It's an amazing feeling, but I credit every single one of my coaches that I work with. You know, not a single one of them will tell you that they work for me, they work with me. And I feel the exact same way. We have that relationship in the coach's office. And then for these kids to allow me to coach them, to love on them hard, to set the expectation and the standard really high, and they never question. They just go after it, and they attack. And so it is really an enjoyable feeling, but having these guys on my side and being in that locker room with those coaches is what makes it really special.
Coach, how important was that touchdown just before halftime to kind of get momentum back?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. We had some things not go our way, right? And that's kind of the part of football is not everything happens in your favor. It's how you respond to those bad moments. And for us to score and kind of start some momentum going, we knew that we had them right where we wanted them. We've been in a situation before. They haven't. And, you know, as much as we weren't talked about this week, I hope that everybody knows that the heart of our kids is amazing, and they never give up.
Hey, Trey, can you speak to last year, I think it was the day after y'all won, that Coach Belt took the job at Baylor. Just the year's journey, a new coach, and then a repeat championship?
It was a big shot to us when Coach B left, but we got Coach Beatty up to where we need to go, and we worked on everything we need to do. And our big motto this year was family, and I feel like we have that bond that we could just all stick together and trust each other.
So the players, obviously, y'all were down 21-0 in the second quarter. Do y'all remember kind of what was the message on the sideline that y'all were telling each other as y'all kind of try to get back in the game?
We were just trying to stick together as a team, talk about what we need to do to like fix and everything, and then we executed that then.
How does it feel to come back like that?
It feels pretty good.
Tristan, when you scored that touchdown right before halftime, did you feel like that was kind of the momentum that you guys needed to ultimately come out with a win?
Yes, sir. That was a big momentum swing for sure. But, you know, in the back of our head, we knew we've faced adversity all year, and obviously that got us the momentum back, and we just went to work.
For you, and I guess any of the players, when you saw Thomas step up for that field goal, what went through your mind?
Game
winner.
We knew we were going to win.
Don't call him Mr. Automatic for no reason.
Coach, did the Melissa game enter into y'all's thinking at all? Because y'all fell behind 20-0 in that one early on. Was it mentioned at all?
Was not mentioned. The truth of the matter is we handled a lot of different adverse situations over the course of our 15 games, and if you want to include this one as well, that our kids are built different in how they respond to those negative things. And it really shows, like Trey said, like the motto of being a family, like you're not going to bail out on one another, right? We're not going to point the finger. We're here all together. You know, we talk about all the time that we're in this thing and we're going to finish what we started. And so it's incredible for these guys to be able to play 16 games in the past 2 seasons and be back-to-back state champs. I'm so happy for them.
Coach, Cash comes in the summer, joins the state championship program. How did he kind of ingrain himself with those guys and find his role?
You know, Cash, when he first got here and his dad started coaching for us, he was in the coach's office all the time. He was learning the schemes and the things that we did offensively. But what he did, more importantly, was he started to build relationships with the guys on the team. And they would go outside and they'd run routes, figure out each other's timing, you know, and then as the season dwindled down, or the summer dwindled down to get into fall camp, he just showed up. And, you know, Jackson Battles was that guy that got us through spring and got us through 7-on-7. And I told Jackson, I said, you do not give it to him. Make him work for it, because that's the guys you want in your locker room. You don't want guys to just come in and have a mindset of, it's my job. And he worked. And Jackson ended up playing some receiver for us and playing some quarterback. But Cash really worked hard to put himself in that position.
Coach, when we talked to you when you first got the job, and we kind of asked what's your goals, and you seemed cautiously optimistic, but realizing kind of what was in front of you guys, where have you grown in 6 to 7 months to where you're able to lead or help lead a 21-point comeback in the state championship game?
My belief continued to grow in the ability of our kids when things got tough. You know, everybody rides a high and does well when things are going right for them. And these guys showed me, I mean, they proved day in and day out how bad they wanted it from the jump, run it back. And we talked about run it back, run it back, run it back. Then it kind of fell on deaf ears, and we just continued to grind. And we worried about every single opponent each week, to where we weren't worried about, oh, guys, it's week 13. It was, hey, this is who we got coming up. And we just put our nose to the grindstone and got after it. And I'm so proud these guys were able to finish the season 15-1 state champs.
Curious about what it meant. I assume, especially to Kyle, who wasn't able to play in the game last year and had some big runs, especially in that second half.
Yeah, this is there's 2 guys that come to my mind on this season coming to an end. Kyle Barton didn't get to play in this game last year. Well, then we had a kid last week, Jaden Davis, linebacker, broke the bottom part of his leg, wasn't able to play in his last game as a senior. And those guys mean so much to the program because they provide every ounce of sweat, blood, and tears. And like Trey said, it's family. You know, like we wouldn't be in this position without Jaden Davis. We wouldn't have been in last year's situation without Kyle Barton. Everybody plays their part, and they do it really well.
Trey, what's your message to the China Spring community?
We brought another one home.
You guys had a big field goal block in this game last year. Obviously, the field goal to win it this time around. How important is special teams to this program, and what does it say about your team?
Yeah, special teams have put us on edge the past couple weeks too. So we would tell them is that don't allow a special teams explosive to come back and haunt you. And so we put a lot of emphasis in it, and our kids executed at a high level. And, you know, both of those different units, the punt and the extra point field goal, it's the execution, the snap and the kick, snap, hold, kick. And those are things we just continue to reiterate with our kids. And then being fortunate enough on the other side of being able to get off the edge so quick and block. And I've never seen somebody return one of those in real life, even though you talk about the drills of, hey, it's going to bounce up 2 times, you're going to take it. And Gabe Watkins has been able to do that 3 times in 2 years. So super important, and they're momentum shifters.
Coach, it's hard enough to win one state championship. Can you just put into words how special of an accomplishment it is to go back-to-back?
I think the biggest accomplishment is that our kids wanted it so bad. You know, as coaches, we get the privilege to be around these guys. We have a lot of input in how well they execute, and, hey, this is how you're going to play. This is the plays that we're going to call. At the end of the day, we're looking at 16 through 18-year-olds having to go out and execute and show how bad they want it and lay it on the line when it really matters. And so as a coach, it's very enjoyable because we see how hard our kids work for that.
Richard, does it mean any more, that you really fought till the very end, the fight that led to this state championship?
Yeah, for sure. We were talking about that when we walked in. Last year it really wasn't that close. At the beginning it was, but we kind of fought through, and it really wasn't that close towards the end. But there was a lot of adversity throughout the entirety of this whole state championship game. And as a senior, I think I can speak for us all. It really means more. We went out in the best way possible and state champs.
Coach, obviously you want to be optimistic every time you go into a season, but when did you know that this is a state championship team?
I don't know that I ever didn't know. I knew exactly what we had. We had 34 seniors. 17 of those played for a state championship team. We got guys that just played their 47th varsity football game. We got experience. We got leadership. There was never any doubt of, well, man, this is what it could be. We knew what we had. We had to tighten things up. We had to rely on seniors. Coaching staff made 6 different changes to where we had guys plugged in, and for our kids to be able to build relationships with those coaches, trust them, and then adapt and overcome when things go bad. I think the Melissa game, though, was really the turning point for a lot of people that knew that, man, they might have something here in China Spring when you come down 20-0 at half and you got to respond. So I never doubted it. I always knew what we had in the locker room, and that was always what's so important to us is we love when people talk great about us. We hate it when they talk poorly. But what happens in that locker room, in that coach's office, is that we all love one another. We trust one another. We never doubt one another. And it's endless. What could come is endless.
Time for one more question.
Y'all had, especially in the playoffs, some very challenging games, but how did those challenges prepare you for what y'all had to do today?
I mean, something I echo throughout, the team, the locker room, is that 3 things: adversity, doubt, and relentless effort. And just, I always feel like we've been doubted a lot of times, and we just continue to prove them wrong. And this team, like I say, we're family. I have it written on my cleats right here, and it means a lot. We play for each other. We play as a team. That's how I like it.
All right, thank you guys. Congratulations.
Thank you.